All right, let's jump in. All right, good morning, everyone. This is the Spalding County State Court. My name is Josh Thacker, I'm your judge, and this is the ticket arraignment calendar. I want to start out by saying that here in the Spalding County State Court, we believe that each of you, as you interact with this court, deserve the respect and the dignity that you would wish for someone you care about. We will extend that to each and every one of you as we interact with you all here today. Hey, please don't talk during court. Our goal is to move this calendar forward promptly, return you to your lives as quickly as we can. I cannot do that if y'all are having sidebar conversations, and frankly, I won't have any tolerance for it. Nobody is virtual, thank goodness. Okay, so cell phones. So earlier I came out and said, hey, everybody turn on your cell phones so you can follow those directions. Let's all take a moment and turn off the phones. So pull them out, pockets, purses, wherever you stash them. Everybody pull out your phones and turn them off. We're about to start moving fast. I can't do that if your phones are pinging and dinging and chirping and slowing everything down. And frankly, it means that you're ignoring this moment where I'm asking you to turn it off and you would like me to have a contempt hearing. Don't tell me that you would like me to have a contempt hearing, because we will have one. Okay. This is the correct courtroom for you if you are issued a citation here in Spalding County. This citation would have been from the Georgia State Patrol. That citation directed you to appear today. If what I'm saying does not sound correct, take your paperwork out to the hallway, show it to the bailiff. They will point you in the right direction. Today is what's called your arraignment. That's where I go over your rights with you. I tell you what your options are on your case, and then you or your attorney tell me what to do with your case. You may have a trial. There are two types of trials. There's a jury trial where 6 jurors sit in that box over there to your left and make the guilt or innocence decision on your charges. There's also a bench trial. That's where I issue the verdict with no jury present. You may have a conference with the solicitor's office if you wish. That's this group up here to your left. I'll remind you that they represent the state of Georgia. They are not your attorney. You can ask me about getting an attorney, and I will give you further instructions on that request. Now, everybody in here, your charges are misdemeanors. The average misdemeanor charge carries a maximum punishment of 12 months to serve in the Spalding County Jail and or a $1,000 fine. Now, a few minor traffic charges like seatbelt have a lower maximum fine, and a few high and aggravated misdemeanors have up to a $5,000 maximum fine. Now, everyone here has the right to a speedy and public jury trial, where 6 citizens of Spalding County decide guilt or innocence on each of your charges. You may also choose a bench trial. That's where I make the guilt or innocence decision with no jury present. You can waive your right to a trial and close your case with a plea. I have no preference. You must knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently choose for yourself. You have the right to be presumed innocent. You have the right to force the state to prove your guilt beyond a reasonable doubt, to cross-examine the state's witnesses, or to subpoena your own witnesses and evidence to court. You have the right to testify or not testify. You have the right not to incriminate yourself. If you remain silent, your silence cannot be held against you. You have the right to have an attorney. You may hire your own attorney if you so choose. However, if you cannot afford an attorney, then you'll be given an opportunity to apply today with the Public Defender's Office. Now, this is your warning, and I'm amazed at how many people test me on this. If you don't take action ASAP to secure the Public Defender's Office, then you will very likely hear me say at your next court date that you have waived the right to apply for their services. Now, an attorney would help you understand our criminal justice system, would explain what the charges are and what the defenses are of those charges, file motions on your behalf, engage in plea negotiations, subpoena witnesses and evidence for your defense, conduct a trial on your behalf and make objections, protect your record and appeal a conviction, and otherwise work to protect you. All right, first offender and conditional discharge. So these each allow you to enter a plea without being convicted. However, you only get one of each for your entire life. First offender is for everything but traffic-related charges, so no DUIs, and conditional discharge is for drug-related offenses only. All right, no-low contender and traffic charges. This applies to almost all of you here. A no-low plea, which is what we call it for short, is where you enter a guilty plea without admitting guilt on traffic charges. It's available on almost all traffic charges, no DUIs. You get one no-low every 5 years, and that's measured from the incident date to the incident date, ticket date to ticket date. No-low will usually prevent points. It will usually save your license. It won't help you much if you're under 21. All right, if you are here today and you're not a U.S. citizen, it is my responsibility to explain to you that any conviction will very likely have a negative impact on your immigration status. All right, habeas corpus. We've all heard this term somewhere in our lives, habeas corpus. Here's how it works. It's my job to explain it to you, and it is a weird old law. You may, if you're convicted of these charges, you may sue Spalding County civilly over in Superior Court to challenge your conviction. All traffic charges have a 6-month window to use it. That's what I need you to remember more than anything else. Everything else in this courtroom has 12 months to use those rights before they expire. Again, weird old law. All right, for those of you that wish to resolve your case today, or try to resolve your case today, you may ask for a conference. If so, that's you. You'll stand up, you'll say conference, and then you'll sit down. You'll remain here in the courtroom until your name is called. If you have an attorney, actually I don't think I have any private attorneys here today. Okay, so the solicitor's office, again, that's this group up here to your left. I will remind you they represent the state of Georgia. They are not your attorney. If you reach an agreement with them, you can resolve your case today. If you don't reach an agreement with them, no problem. You've waived no rights. You simply ask for a trial, tell them or one of the court's bailiffs will happily have you sign the paperwork and move you in the trial direction. Now, some of you have a payable ticket that you would like to close without a trial. If that is you, then you have 3 options to close your case. Number 1, if you're here today and you have the fine amount, you just wish to pay your ticket and close it, then you can do that, no problem. If you do not have the fine amount and you wish, then an option on the other end of the spectrum is for you to have a conference, enter a negotiated plea, and I can place you on probation where you can work off the fines or have time to pay it, or and then terminate upon completion. In January of last year, we rolled out what's now being called our 30 for 30 program, which is our middle ground between the two, and it's been wildly successful. And here's how that works. So our 30 for 30 program says, you said I don't have the fine amount, but I don't want to go on probation. What you do is you have a conference, you enter a negotiated plea in front of me, I sentence you on those terms, and then I announce that if you will pay $30, I will delay the start of your probation by 30 days. If during that time you pay your fine in full, plus $30 for participating in 30 by 30 plea program, then your case will close with no probation conditions. So if that is something you're interested in, ask for a conference and ask the solicitor's office about that. If you're unsuccessful, then your probation automatically begins 31 days out, and you'll need to complete those conditions. Now, for those of you that do receive probation, you'll be supervised by Spalding County Sentence Enforcement. There will be a one-time $25 intake fee. Again, this is for those that receive probation. 100% of all fines can be worked off with community service work at a rate of $10 per hour. Additionally, there's a $50 per month supervision fee each month until you close your case. The supervision fee is mandatory, but it can be waived after a separate hearing before me. All right. For those of you that ask for a trial, you need to plan ahead, because here's what it looks like. All the trials go on the same 2-week trial calendar. What that means is you'll be assigned in week 1 a calendar call date for you to return to this courtroom for your calendar call. Once you've passed that, if you are still, the case is still open, we'll all skip a week in the middle and we'll do some other court and get ready for trial. The week 2, jury trials and bench trials begin at 9 a.m. sharp, and you will need to be prepared to appear each and every day until your case is resolved. We will use 2 courtrooms in week 2, maybe 3, and we will reach your case for trial. All right, we are still a small enough community where everybody knows somebody who knows everybody. So here's the deal. If you recognize a name of someone who is absent, call them, tell them to get down here ASAP, and you will definitely save them a great deal of future trouble. All right, so what's going to happen is Ms. Tony, Assistant Solicitor, is going to call the calendar. So when you hear your name called, what you're going to do for me is stand up, or if you can't stand up, raise your hand nice and high so I can see who I'm looking at. Once you've done that, I don't have any attorneys here, so I'll need you to announce as follows. So you're going to very loudly yell out either jury trial, or bench trial, or conference, or attorney, and raise your hand if you are under 21 in this courtroom. Raise your hand if you're under 21. When y'all have your hands up and you get to your name, you need to re-announce that you are under 21. Traffic laws in Georgia treat you differently, and we need to know that information. Okay, so y'all have one more announcement y'all need to make when your name is called. Okay, Ms. Tony, anything else? Okay, floor's yours.
Alexis Adams.
No.
No. Request bond for. Wait.
This will be a failure to appear.
Request failure to appear. Thank you. Garcia Aguilar Roberto. Request failure to appear. Clyde Alexander. Request failure to appear. Felix Alvarado.
Reset.
Reset.
Al Sakari, HM. Request failure to appear. Anthony Atkinson.
Conference.
All right, thank you.
What did I say, conference?
Brenda Barnes. Request failure to appear. Luis Fernando Barrios Penale. Request failure to appear. Deja Battle. Conference.
Thank you.
Rosalind Browning. Conference.
All right, thank you.
O'Dane Bruce.
Conference.
Mindy Buckless. Conference. Christopher Burns.
Conference. Yeah, that's it. So, one of the things y'all are gonna realize pretty quick is that I'm the luckiest judge in the state of Georgia. I have amazing people in every direction. One of the things we're really good at is multiple things at the same time. Mr. Shepard's gonna go ahead and start the conferences. That moves y'all out of here quicker, and it's more respectful for your time. So, Mr. Shepard, the floor's yours.
All right, when I call your name, if y'all got these double doors over here, to my right, to your left, Anthony Atkinson, Deja Battle, Rosalind Browning, O'Dane Bruce, Mindy Buckless, Christopher Burns. James, will you tell Miss White, I think she's up in the hallway with you. Y'all send her on down to the mom, please? Thank you.
Tracy Busby.
Ms. White.
Request failure to appear. Jahil Calcano Cordero.
Conference.
All right, thank you.
Ryan Chambers.
Okay, Mr. Chambers, are you wishing to apply with the Public Defender's Office?
No, I had already got one. I got approved about a week ago, 2 weeks ago,
With the Public Defender's Office?
with Sullivan and Overture.
That's not our public defender. Do you have charges in the municipal court as well?
No, sir.
And
Oh,
you-
that's for municipal.
So Sullivan and Ogletree they were the public defender's office here, but they're now the public defender's office in the Griffin Municipal Court. Our public defenders is the Jukes Law Firm. So the solution here is very simple. I just was confused for a moment. What I'm gonna have you do is step out in the hallway. Do not leave until the bailiffs come see you. They're gonna give you a reset notice with your next court dates, just for a jury trial's fine. On that has the address and telephone number for our public defender's office,
Alright,
and you're gonna go straight there today,
alright.
correct?
Yes, sir.
Today,
Yes, sir.
and you're gonna fill an application out with him. You what?
It's not on that list.
Oh, I thought we fixed all this. It's 430, it's 4, you I remember their new address, 435 South? Let me just have it. .435 South Hill Street. So. Do I? Same.
Same.
So all you gotta do is mark out the 126 north and write 435 south. I thought we had already done that on all of them, but obviously some got to it.
What was his name?
Do what?
His name.
That was
Brian
Chambers. Ryan Chambers? It was Ryan Chambers. Yeah. Do you have what you need? Again, everybody has the right to pull the emergency cord, so don't hesitate to interrupt if you need something. All right, floor's yours.
Richard Christian,
Nolo?
All right, I'm gonna put you down for a conference. They're gonna discuss whether or not you qualify for a NOLO, and then they'll let you know.
Okay, thank you.
Conference it is.
Terrence Clark,
All conference. Thank you.
Brian Clay. Request failure to appear. Vankalia Clemens. Request failure to appear. Betty Clemens. Request failure to appear. Anthony Coggins.
Conference.
Thank you.
A Miracle Corbin. Request failure to appear. Denia Creamer.
Conference under 21.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Ryan Cruz.
That's a warrant. So, there's only two real warrants. It's the driving suspended license and without a valid license.
Okay, request bench warrant.
Granted.
Amirian Davis. Request failure to appear. Dakota Dowd.
Thank you.
Adijane Elam.
How do you say your first name? Names are important. Say it one more time. Anijane. Anijane. I'm the lead messer upper of names. I'm always asking. But names are important and we want to get it right. So,
Malaysia Ellison. Request failure to appear. Jared Fleming. Request failure to appear. Emmanuel Francis. Request failure to appear. Wallace Frederick. Request bench warrant.
granted.
Ryan Fugate. Request failure to appear. Rick Gaddis.
Conference.
Thank you.
Linda Gaston.
Good try.
All right. Do you have your license reinstated?
I don't.
Okay. Do you want to talk to the public defender's office?
I will.
Okay, so I'm gonna have you step out into the hallway. They're gonna have you sign your bench trial form as well as a reset notice. And that reset notice will have the public defender's office. If you can get your license back before your next court date, it is very much worth your effort.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, so I'm sure you're already doing that, but just thought I'd let you know that it would help you a lot if you could do that.
All right, thanks.
All right, wait in the hallway, please. Don't leave till the bailiffs come out and have you sign your bench trial form and your reset notice. Y'all have the form? Erica keeps a stack of them. It's a bench trial form for Miss Gaston. So the bailiffs will take the bench trial form and the reset notice out. Y'all, everything you need. Susan? You good? They're good. We're ready.
Donnie Gentry,
Conference.
Thank you.
Peoria Glover. Request failure to appear. Melissa Gonzalez. Request failure to appear. Sean Gossett. Request failure to appear. Shirley Green.
Conference.
Thank you.
Jonathan Greer. Request bench warrant.
Brandon.
Cassidy Gunter. Conference. Douglas Hallberg.
Conference.
Christine Hamby.
Conference.
Thank you.
David Hand.
Conference under 21.
Thank you.
Billy Hakens.
It might be Hawkins.
Hawkins.
Yeah, you have handwriting and I have a print, so I'm cheating.
Billy Hawkins. Request failure to appear. Yes. I have two cases for him, and the second one definitely says Hawkins.
Yes.
Martinez Herrera.
Conference.
Jamoke Holden. Request failure to appear. Susan Holm.
Conference.
Thank you.
Catrone Hudson.
Conference.
David Hudson. Request failure to appear. Sade James.
Conference.
Candace Jenkins. Request failure to appear.
May I have that case number? Jenkins.
23 TK 5633.
5633.
Yes.
And it was Candace Jenkins.
Yes.
I just don't have it on my calendar. So. Okay.
Cordarius Johnson. Request failure to appear. Kieran Johnson.
Conference.
All right. Thank you.
Marvy Nana Jones. Request failure to appear. Kelsey Jones. Request failure to appear. Chantal Jones.
Conference.
Destiny Lancaster Slaughter. Request failure to appear.
Let me just really quick on Jones, Marion Jones. I'm gonna do that, Mr. Warren. We're good.
Long, Long, Long.
I don't have that one. What's the case number?
23 TK 4984.
Thank you.
First name is DWI. Patricia Lyons. Amos Mays. Request bench warrant.
Granted.
Amos Tyus made, so he can do it.
I was gonna say, you might be in jail.
Okay, great. So not a warrant, see him Wednesday afternoon. So Erica will add that to the Wednesday.
Ashanti McAllister. McAllister. Request failure to appear. Tracy McCleskey.
Conference.
Thank you.
Alicia Medrano. Request failure to appear. Christy Michael.
Christy Michael has two separate cases and is not responding.
Request bench warrant.
Yes.
Demaria Milner. Request failure to appear. Takoria Mitchell. Request failure to appear. Madison Mort.
Conference under 21.
Thank you.
Jamara Myrick.
Conference. Thank you.
Daryl Napoleon. Request failure to appear. Susan Nichols.
Conference.
Thank you.
Karen Niles. Request failure to appear. Patrick Ojemi. Request failure to appear. Tenley Page. Request failure to appear. Derek Parrott.
Conference.
Conference. Okay.
Naisha Phillips. Request failure to appear. Troy Piper. Request failure to appear. Carlos Pagani.
Conference.
Thank you.
Alright, can you stop here for a second? I'm gonna call some more people. Okay, if I call your name, if you'll go through these double doors out to the hallway, Miss Fletcher will meet you out.
Pikes. Request failure to appear. Brittany Pineda.
Conference.
She's at 21.
I didn't hear that. I heard something. What she said, I couldn't hear.
Conference under 21.
Okay.
Brenda Powell. Request failure to appear. Kamaya Purcell.
Conference.
Aldo Ramirez.
Conference.
All right, thank you.
Austin Ray. Request failure to appear. Antoinette Rayford. Request failure to appear. Olivia Reed.
Conference under 21.
Carl Roberts.
Bench.
All right, you want to talk to the public defender's office?
No.
Are you waiving the right to apply with the public defender's office?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, Mr. Roberts, if you will please step out into the hallway, wait for the bailiffs. When they come out, they'll have to sign the reset notice as well as your bench trial and take you for in a suit court. Thank you.
James Salter. Request failure to appear. Jason Sanford. Request failure to appear. Tanedra Shelby.
Okay.
Kimberly Slayton. Request failure to appear. Nicole Smith. Request failure to appear. Simone Smith.
Conference.
Thank you.
Eduardo Sotelo. Request bench warrant. Jordan Thornton.
Conference.
Harmony Tucker.
Conference.
Brandon Turner. Request failure to appear. Joanna Tyus. Request failure to appear. Eli Velland. Request failure to appear. Moise Vinson.
Conference. Conference.
Thank you. Actually, I have a microphone. Sorry, y'all.
Patrick Walker. Request failure to appear. Cody Wall. Request failure to appear. Furious Watts.
Conference.
Antoine Wethington. Request failure to appear. Brianna Weems. Request failure to appear. Davon West. Request failure to appear. Sherry Whitman. Request failure to appear. Freddie Lee Williams Jr. Request bench warrant. Gary Williams. Request failure to appear. Joshua Witchett. Request bench warrant.
Granted.
Brianna Wright.
Conference under 21.
Thank you.
Patachudek Yaponwi.
No.
Yaponqui? No.
Anything? Okay.
Request failure to appear.
That's what you have? Okay. All right, so a couple of announcements to sweep everybody else up. So, if you are here today and your name was not called in that group, stand up for me. There's always a good handful. All right, great. All right, we're gonna start over here, nice and loud. What's your name, ma'am?
Cheyenne Petter. Cheyenne Petter.
All right, P as in Paul, Peter?
Yeah, P-E-E-R.
All right, and what are you charged with?
So I have a DUI and
That's probably a court date
and,
that they should.
no seatbelt.
Okay, and they, do you have your ticket with you by any chance?
I have all three of them.
Wonderful. Does your ticket tell you to be here today?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm gonna apologize to you and say you should not have received a court date, but if you will make certain, to give, I'm gonna have you step out into the hallway in just a second. I'm gonna have the bailiffs, I guess it's not a reset notice. I'm gonna have you give us a good address, telephone number, email address, contact information. I'm also gonna get copies of that ticket and I'm gonna email the trooper directly and say, stop setting court dates for cases that aren't supposed to have court dates. So just so you know, I'm sorry that you're here, but I will address this matter directly with that trooper. So, all right, if you'll step out in the hallway, don't leave until the bailiffs come talk to you.
Yeah.
You certainly will.
Rosalind Browning,
There she
that
is.
you come out here. Thank you, sir.
All right, Clinton, if you'll make sure to get a copy of her tickets.
Hey, sorry, I also have a question, because, my license was suspended by another court system, and they reinstated it to Georgia State Patrol, and they took my license.
So, yeah, so when, so go back to DDS and they should be able to sort that out.
Okay.
So, all right, nice and loud, what's your name?
Dominique Chapman.
All right, what are you charged with, Mr. Chapman?
Same return.
Same thing, do you have your tickets with you? All right, so if you'll follow her out, make certain that we have a good address, telephone number. I am very sorry that you're here today and that your time is wasted. I will address this directly with the trooper, okay? We had this fixed and then it's just like whack-a-mole. Okay, all right, so their address, we'll deal with that. All right, is there anyone else whose name was not called? Okay, so I'm gonna give you your next set of instructions and then I'm gonna or actually I'll let you want me to make the announcements or you want me to? Okay, I'll do it. So, all right, so here's how the next round will go. So in just a moment, this next phase goes a lot faster if I'm not sitting on the bench, because there's a lot of movement that's about to happen. The solicitor's office is about to start doing 2 conferences at the same time, because Assistant Solicitor Tony is going to step out and start doing conferences with Mr. Shepard. So that's going to go twice as fast this way. The bailiffs are going to start calling people rapid fire out these doors, and there's going to be a lot going on. So what I need you all to do is as follows. I need you all, here's the directions you're about to receive. They're very complicated. You ready? We're all human. Most of us have had coffee today. Step to the restroom, get back to your seats. Like, that's it. We're all human. Step to the restroom, get back to your seats. You think I'm being silly, but statistically speaking, one of you is going to volunteer to go to jail today. Let me do that one more time more slowly. Statistically speaking, one of you is going to volunteer to jail today. How are you going to go to jail is as follows. I'm about to take this break. I'm going to give you the instructions to step to the restroom and get back to your seat. And one of you is going to leave. I don't know why. I don't know why those instructions are confusing. If you have better instructions I should give you other than step to the restroom and get back to your seats, I'm all ears. But one of you is going to leave. I'm going to issue a warrant for you. I'm going to hold you without bond in the jail, and then I'll go see you on a Wednesday when I go out there. So here's the instructions. Step to the restroom. Get back to your seats. Do not leave. The solicitor's office is going to be calling folks out this way. Bailiffs are calling folks this way. I'm the luckiest judge in Georgia. This is the best court. They make me look way better than I deserve. If you have questions, speak with the bailiffs. They're very good at what they do. They can answer your questions. With that said, it's 10 o'clock now. I'm going to come back on the bench at 10:45. So at 10:45, I'll be back on the bench. At that point, I'll take the pleas that are ready and deal with anybody else who has wandered in. Anything else?
Just one quick question for you.
Okay, come on. up to the podium. We're going to go through your rights with you and get your cases moving.
Judge, those two names that were not on.
Yes.
They were on it.
So they have no. Well, then I
They
won't
just got
need
this
it.
file.
That'll work for me. Let me put this here for the bailiffs to take to sentencing.
I hear you.
Perfect, thank you, Judge. All right, starting at the top of the counter. Top of the pile. All right, Hudson, Hudson is a non-pros. Patron, you here? All right, good. Okay. And then Hamby is also a non-pros. Hamby here? So far, so good. And then my last non-pros is Burns. Well, last one in this pile. Christopher Burns. All in hand and we're good to go.
You ready for you? Yeah, thank you.
We're gonna do this, so.
Thank you.
All right, as I call your name, I'm asking you to step forward to the podium. We're gonna start with Anthony Atkinson. All right. Mr. Atkinson, somebody's gotta go first and somebody's gonna go last. So you're my first. You ready?
Yes, sir.
Raise your right hand. You solemnly swear or affirm that testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, sir.
All right, take your hand down. State your full name for me.
Anthony Russell Atkinson.
Mr. Atkinson, you're here on 23 TK 5657, and you're here because, I'm so sorry, according to my calendar, you were on time for court today, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Did you hear the rights I read out to the courtroom, and did you see the PowerPoint that I put up on the wall?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand those rights?
Yes, sir.
Any questions I can answer for you about those rights?
No, sir.
You have passed up to me this self-represented defendant plea rights waiver. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And do you recognize it as the written version of those rights I read out earlier?
Yes, sir.
Are these your initials next to each of the lines on page 1,
Yes, sir.
page 2,
Yes, sir.
and is this your signature?
That's my signature. Yes, sir.
Did you sign and initial this document after having all the time you needed to review it
Yes, sir.
and because you understood everything that's on it?
Yes, sir.
Did you see on here where it says you have the right to have an attorney represent you
Yes, sir.
and you're here representing yourself?
Yes, sir.
Is that what you want to do on your case?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand that you have the right to a jury trial?
Yes, sir.
And that by entering this plea, you're giving up all the right to a trial and all those rights that are inside that trial?
Yes, sir.
Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
All right. Mr. Atkinson, you are charged with one count of speeding, 73 and a 55, and that you did so here in Spalding County on December 1st of 2023. Did you do that?
Yes, I did.
I don't know. I'm going to check something real quick. I don't know if that second charge is going to cause a suspension of your driver's license. And I'm realizing we should at least have that. We should both be in agreement that that's going to happen or not before you take this plea. Give me just a quick second. 40 years driver's license. Do you have your license back?
I will next month.
This is that new statute that says that I get to make that decision. I don't normally get to make that decision, so I've marked it as do not report. Okay, do not report to DDS. So, all right, so count 2 is a violation of a license restriction. Did you operate a motor vehicle outside of the boundaries of your restricted license?
I was unaware I was doing it, but yes, I was.
Okay, and that's the thing about traffic laws, everybody. Traffic law is not like the regular, felony charges where they have to prove that you did it and that you meant to do it. With traffic charges, they just have to prove that you did it.
Yes, sir.
They're called strict liability offenses. It doesn't matter if you wanted to run the stop sign or not. If you ran it, you get the ticket. So, okay, I'm going to find with your admission of guilt as to count 1 and 2 that there is enough for me to take your plea. I'm going to find that you're knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently waiving your rights and entering this plea. I reviewed the recommendation and I will follow it. Do you have any questions for me about anything before I sentence?
It's just my license is not suspended.
Your license is exactly where it was before we started.
Okay, cool.
So what I'm simply marking on here is that count 2, I'm marking that at my discretion, which the manual is telling me I have that discretion, as do not report to DDS. Again, that's a new thing. I normally don't have that discretion, but
Okay.
it's a win-win for both of us.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so the sentence of the court then is as follows. As to count 1, speeding, 73 and a 55, I'm going to find you guilty. It's 12 months probation, $195 is your fine. Count 2, violation of a license restriction, guilty, 12 months, $306 is your fine. I'm delaying the start of your probation by 30 days for you to participate in our 30 by 30 program. And if you pay your fine in full plus $30 within the next 30 days, your case will close with no probation conditions. 31 days from now, if your case is still open, the probation conditions will begin, and they will be that you may then work off your fine with community service work if you wish. You'll need to show your valid license to probation, have no alcohol, illegal drugs, or hemp products, and be tested for those. Fourth Amendment waiver, $50 per month supervision fee, $25 intake fee, and your case will still close the moment you've satisfied your obligations to the court, but you will have those additional obligations to complete before your case can close. You have 30 days from today if you wish to appeal this decision, and 6 months from today if you want to use those habeas rights. Are there any questions about anything that I can answer for you before you and I part ways?
No, sir.
All right, Mr. Clint's going to walk you out those double doors and have you go meet with sentence enforcement. Best of luck to you. All right, now we're going to do some shorter ones. Battle. Okay, if you'll please, your plea is going to be very short, so if you'll please raise your right hand for me. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
All right, take your head down, state your full name for me.
Deja Ariane Bell.
All right, Ms. Bowder, you're here on 23 TK 5493, and according to my calendar, you were on time for court today, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
I'll just do it. I'm just going to jump forward here. I'm holding up this self-represented defendant plea rights waiver. Are these your initials?
Yes, sir.
Here on the front
Yes.
and here on the back?
Yes.
Is that your signature?
Yes.
Did you sign and initial this because you understood everything that's on it?
Yes.
Ms. Battle, do you wish to enter a no-load plea on speeding 95 and a 65?
Yes.
Do you have the funds to pay this fine in full today?
Yes.
Then, and are you over 21 years of age?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna find that, for the purpose of this, since you have the fine in full, it is a payable ticket and you're not going on probation. That means that you and I do not need to do the full plea from start to finish. I've gotten what I need from you, which is a confirmation that you qualify for a no-load and that you otherwise it's in the court's best interest to grant it. So what I'm doing at this point is I'm signing the back of your citation, approving the no-load. I'm putting the fine up here of $750. And I've signed the back of your right sheet, showing that you understand your rights. I do not need anything else from you. Do you have any questions for me?
No.
Okay, well, since you have the fine amount, I'm gonna have you step back that way, out those double doors, have a seat out in the hallway, wait for the bailiffs to come get you, okay? Don't leave until they come get you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, of course.
Susan Nichols.
All right, Bruce. I'm gonna mark those differently on my calendar, so it's every gush. Okay, please raise your right hand for me. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
All right, take your hand down, state your full name for me.
Badane Bruce.
And Mr. Bruce, according to my calendar, you are on time for court today, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Did you hear the rights or read out to the courtroom and see the PowerPoint up on the wall?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand those rights?
Yes, sir.
You passed up to me the self-represented defendant plea rights waiver. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And do you recognize it as the written version of those rights I read out earlier?
Yes, sir.
I was about to say, I see that. And you also initially, Mr. Clint's gonna fix a small flare.
Use that one. Yeah, so I can read it. Okay. Right there. Yeah, right there. All right.
All right, and you are not a U.S. citizen?
No, I'm a U.S. citizen.
You are, okay. Because you initialed the letter and said you're not. So we're just gonna put that on the record. It's okay. We're just gonna put that on the record. I'm gonna mark it off. I'm gonna initial it, and we're gonna keep going. Everything else was corrected. So there were several things needed corrected. You got everything but that. You and I are good to go. Let's go off record though, because we never want to slow Miss Middleton down.
Thank you. Can I please see the following people through those double doors? Kamaya Purcell, Aldo Ramirez, Olivia Reed, Tanedra Shelby, Simone Smith, and Jordan Thornton. Thank you.
Okay. All right, back on record with Mr. Bruce. Mr. Bruce, are you 21 years of age or older?
I'm older.
Have you used a no-low on a moving violation in the last 5 years?
No.
And are you asking me to accept it for driving that occurred here in Spalding County on November 7th, 2023, and results in this charge of speeding 79 and 55?
Yes, sir.
Okay. As you have, it's my understanding you have the funds to pay the fine in full today, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Then I will not need to place you on probation, and that concludes the conversation you and I need to have. Do you have, you know what, I did ask.
Whoever phone that is need to go outside.
Yeah, step out in the hallway, y'all. Y'all take a moment, turn your phones off, please.
Step outside in the hallway.
Step out in the hallway, whoever's phone that is. Just step out in the hallway, please. It's okay, just go in the hallway. We really
Well,
don't.
phone will step out in the hall.
Go again, you're going to jail.
Yeah. All right, thank you, he's got it. All right, Mr. Bruce, I'm going to accept your no-load plea. I'm approving it, I'm signing it at this moment. What I'm gonna have you do is step out into the hallway, wait for the bailiffs. And, And the fine is 602. It's a modified fine amount. So, all right,
Yeah.
any questions?
And it won't be no points on the lights, right?
The whole point of the NOLO is that there will be no points associated. It'll appear on your driver's history, and it'll say NOLO, 0 points.
Okay.
So that's a good question. Any other questions?
So they can charge you through insurance? For
Insurance is not supposed to, but I don't control what a private entity does with a public document. But that's the whole point of a NOLO, is you're not admitting guilt.
Yeah.
And they're not supposed to use it against you. But, you know, the fact is that I don't control the insurance world.
So if they do, can we have a matter?
If they do, you should probably find a new insurance company.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So that would be my recommendation.
They pay us.
Yeah, he can go. So,
All right,
these are good questions. If you'll head back that way and wait out in the hallway, don't leave until the bailiffs walk you down to the clerk's office to make your payment. You're on 23 TK 3048. According to my calendar, you are on time for court today. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Did you hear the rights I read out to the courtroom and see the PowerPoint that I put up on the wall?
I did.
Did you understand those rights?
I did.
You have passed up to me this self-represented defendant plea rights waiver. Do you recognize this document as the written version of those rights?
I do.
Are these your initials next to each of the lines on page 1,
They are.
page 2,
They are.
and is this your signature?
It is.
Did you sign and initial this document after having all the time that you needed to review it
Yes, I did.
and because you understood everything that's on it?
Yep.
Mr. Christian, did you see on here, as well as hear me say, that you have the right to have an attorney represent you?
I did.
And you're here representing yourself?
Correct.
Is that what you want to do on your case?
Yes, I do.
And do you remember reading on here that you have the right to a jury trial, including those rights within a jury trial?
Yep.
And that by entering this plea, you're giving up that right, those rights. Is that what you want to do?
Yes, it is.
Are you 21 years of age or older?
Yes.
Have you used a NOLO on a moving violation in the last 5 years?
No.
Are you asking me to accept a NOLO for driving that occurred here in Spalding County on June 29th of 2023 and resulted in this charge of speeding 91 and a 65?
Yes.
All right, I'm going to find that your request for a NOLO is proper, and I'm going to grant it. I'm going to find that you are knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently waiving your rights and entering this plea. I reviewed the recommendation, and I'm going to follow it exactly the way you've negotiated it. Do you have any questions for me about anything before I sentence?
Nope.
You ready?
I am.
All right. Mr. Christian, on 23 TK 3048 from June 29th of 2023, count 1, speeding, 91 and a 65, I'm going to grant your NOLO. It's 12 months probation, 735 is your fine. You may work off your, I'm going to delay the start of your probation by 30 days to allow you the opportunity to pay your fine in full plus $30 for participating in our 30 by 30 program. If you were able to successfully close your case, great, there will be no probation conditions. 31 days from now, your probation will start officially. If it's still open, at which point you can then work off your fines with community service work if you wish. You'll need to show a valid license to probation. no alcohol, illegal drugs, or hemp products. You'll be tested for those. Fourth Amendment waiver, $50 per month supervision fee, $25 intake fee, and your case will still close once you have satisfied those additional conditions. You have 30 days from today if you wish to appeal this decision, and you have 6 months from today if you wish to use your habeas rights. Do you have any questions for me about anything that I can answer for you before you and I part ways?
No, thank you.
All right, Mr. Christian, Mr. Williams is going to walk you out those double doors. Best of luck to you.
Appreciate you.
Be safe. All right, may I please see Terrence Clark?
Look out here.
You're welcome. Go ahead. Oh, it's a no pen. Let me see. Oh, he's supposed to be filling out a rights sheet. So you'll hold on to that till that guy gives you his rights sheet. All right, you are Terrence Clark.
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Clark, if you please raise your right hand for me. You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony about to give this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, sir.
All right, take your hand down and state your full name for me.
Terrence Clark.
Mr. Clark, you are here today on 23 TK 5142. According to my calendar, you are on time for court today. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
There you are. And did you hear the rights I read out to the courtroom, and did you see the PowerPoint that I put up on the wall?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand those rights?
Yes, sir.
You passed up to me this self-represented defendant plea rights waiver. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
Do you recognize it as the written version of those rights I read out earlier?
Yes, sir.
Are these your initials next to each of the lines on page 1?
Yes, sir.
Page 2?
Yes, sir.
Is this your signature? Did you sign and initial this document after having all the time you needed to review it?
Yes, sir.
And did you understand everything that's on it?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Clark, did you see on here, as well as hear me say, that you have the right to have an attorney represent you?
Yes.
And you're here representing yourself?
Yes.
All right, you're soft-spoken. Leave that mic. It'll get loud if you get close. I know. And do you understand that you have the right to a jury trial?
Yes, sir.
And that by entering this plea, you're giving up both the right to a jury trial and an attorney. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
Is that what you want to do? Do you want to give those things up to close this case with this plea?
No, I was doing the 30 for 30.
Yes, we're on the same page.
Okay.
I have to, so you have, it's okay, this gets a lot of people this moment. So for you to enter this plea, you can either enter the plea or go to trial. So it's a switch, you gotta pick one. And you can either represent yourself or get an attorney. And right now you're representing yourself because you don't have an attorney next to you. And so I have to ask you if that's what you want to do. Does that make sense?
Yeah, yes, sir.
A little better? So is it okay with you, I'm gonna ask those in positives then. Is it okay with you that you're representing yourself here today?
Yes, sir.
And is it okay with you that by entering this plea, you'll never have a jury trial and there'll never be a trial on this case? Is that okay with you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, then I do it that way when folks get confused. Again, you're not the first and you won't be the last. It's a tough set of questions.
Thank you.
All right, Mr. Clark, you do have a fast speed, but you have negotiated an agreement with the solicitor's office that I will follow, which is, did you operate your motor vehicle at 102 to 55?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, let's do that. Okay. Let's go for it.
Sorry, thank
That's
you.
good.
Can I please see the following people through those double doors? Harmony Tucker, Mose Vincent, Furious Watts, and Brianna Wright. Thank you.
All right, back on record with Mr. Clark. Mr. Clark, I'm going to find that you're knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently waiving your rights to enter this plea. I reviewed the recommendation and I will follow it. As to count 1, speeding 102 to 55, I'm going to find you guilty. 12 months probation, 1440 is your fine. You somehow talked the solicitor's office into giving you the 30 by 30 on this one. Good job. And I'm going to follow their recommendation. If you don't close your case in 30 days, then you'll need to show valid license probation, have no alcohol, illegal drugs, or hemp products, be tested for those. Fourth Amendment waiver, $50 supervision fee per month, $25 intake fee. And your case will still close the moment you've satisfied your obligations to the court. You have 30 days from today if you wish to appeal this decision. You have 6 months from today if you wish to use your habeas rights. Any questions for me about anything before we part ways? Slow down.
I got you.
Slow down. If you'll walk out those double doors with Mr.
Thank you.
Glenn. Kramer? All right, you're under 21, is that correct? Okay. All right, if you'll please raise your right hand. You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God. All right, you're very soft-spoken. Take your hand down, lean into that mic, and get loud, okay? All right, state your full name for me.
Denaya Kramer,
Much better, okay. Ms. Kramer, how old are you?
18.
18, okay. So, let's talk through your case. Ms. Kramer, you were on time for court today, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Did you hear the rights I read out to the courtroom? And did you see the PowerPoint that I put up on the wall?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand those rights?
Yes, sir.
You have passed up to me this self-represented defendant plea rights waiver. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
Are these your initials next to each of the lines on page 1?
Yes, sir.
Page 2?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature?
Yes, sir.
Did you sign and initial this document after having all the time you needed to review it?
Yes, sir.
And because you understood everything that's on it?
Yes.
All right. Ms. Kramer, you have the right to have an attorney represent you. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
And you're here representing yourself, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Do you wish to go forward with this plea representing yourself?
Yes.
Do you have parents or anyone else here today?
No.
Okay, just always ask that when I have under 21. All right, now, Ms. Kramer, it looks like the solicitor's office has reduced your speed a little bit. Okay, so they've reduced your speed. The speed you came in on would have suspended your driver's license. They've reduced the speed to an amount that is going to put you on the knife edge of losing your license. And so if you do what you're supposed to do, drive safely and back away from the edge of the cliff, you get to keep your license. If you continue speeding and get other tickets, you will lose your license. Do you understand that you hold, figuratively, the keys in your hand of what happens next? And I just mixed like 4 metaphors and I know it, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So, all right, are you with me on this?
Yes,
Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
All right, so did you here in Spalding County operate your motor vehicle at a speed of 48 and a 25 on November 16th of 2023?
Yes.
All right, I find that your, with your admission of guilt, there's enough for me to take your plea. I'm gonna find that you're knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently waiving your rights entering this plea. I reviewed the recommendation and I'll follow it. Do you have any questions for me, ma'am, before a sentence?
No, sir.
Okay, so Ms. Kramer is it Kramer?
Kramer.
Kramer, on 23 TK 5505 on November 16th of 2023, count 1 speeding 48 and a 25, I'm gonna find you guilty. It's 12 months probation, 232 is your fine. You may work off your fine with community service work, show your valid license to probation. You tested for drugs, alcohol, and hemp products, $50 per month supervision fee, $25 intake fee, and your case will close the moment you've satisfied your obligations and 3 months have passed. Your obligations to get your case closed include 20 hours of community service work and defensive driving school. So you can see, or I hope you see, that your sentence is geared towards rehabilitation and future thinking. So we can get you to slow down just a little bit, okay?
Yes, sir.
Do you have any questions for me about anything?
Yeah. Is the probation 12 months or is it 3 to 6?
So think of it as you're on the highway with an exit ramp. So you're on the 12-month highway,
Okay.
and there's an exit ramp at 3 months that you can take if you do what you're supposed to do. So that's the way I have to sentence. I have to sentence for the full 12, and then I give everybody the option, when I do, I give people the option to exit early. So you have the option to exit early at 3 months.
Yes, sir.
All right, any questions for me?
No, sir.
All right, good luck to you, man. Just step out the doors. All right, next one is Coggins. All right, hello.
Hello, sir.
Am I correct correct in looking at this that you have the funds to pay your fine today?
I do.
Great, that just tells me which way to go and what paperwork to use. Raise your right hand for me. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
All right, take your hand down and state your full name for me.
Anthony William Coggins.
All right, Mr. Coggins, you are here today on 23 TK 5320. Am I correct that you were here on time for court?
Correct.
Did you hear all the rights I read out to the courtroom, and did you see the PowerPoint that I put up on the wall?
I did.
Did you, you passed up to me this self-represented defendant plea rights waiver. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And are these your initials next to each of the lines on page 1?
They are.
Page 2?
They are.
Is that your signature?
It is.
And I just should point out that you put one huge initial of signatures in here.
Yes.
That's not preferred, but if you acknowledge it on the record, we're not gonna fix it.
I did.
Okay, great, we're just gonna keep rolling. And, have you used a NOLO on any moving violation in the last 5 years?
I have not.
And you're 21 years of age or older?
I am.
Bless you. And you want to accept this you want me to accept this NOLO for driving that occurred on October 31st here in Spalding County at a speed of 38, okay, a speed of 38 in a 25, is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, great. You and I do not need to go any further into the plea because I'm not going to be placing you on probation. And so what I'm going to do is say at this point, if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them.
No, sir.
Then I'm going to pass you off to the bailiffs. They are going to walk you, I forgot to sign that. They're going to walk you down to the clerk's office. Once you have made your payment and you have your receipt in hand, you'll be free to go.
Thank you.
All right, if you'll step back that way, out into the hallway, don't leave until the bailiffs come see you. Okay. Thank you. All right, next case is Gunter. All right, if you'll please raise your right hand for me. You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, sir.
All right, state your full name.
Cassidy Gunter?
Ms. Gunter, am I correct that you have the funds to pay your fine today?
Yes, sir.
All right, so let's talk this through. You were here on time for court today, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Did you hear the rights I read out to the courtroom, and did you see the PowerPoint that I put up on the wall?
Yes, sir.
You have passed up to me this self-represented defendant plea rights waiver. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
Do you recognize it as the written version of those rights I read out earlier?
Yes.
Are these your initials next to each of the lines on page 1?
Yes, sir.
Page 2?
Yes, sir.
Is that your signature?
Yes, sir.
Did you sign and initial this document because you understood everything that's on it?
Yes, sir.
Are there any questions I can answer for you about anything before we move forward?
I don't think so.
Are you 21 years of age or older?
Yes, sir.
Have you used a NOLO in the last 5 years on anything?
I have not.
Are you asking me to accept this NOLO for driving that occurred here in Spalding County on October 26th and results in this charge of speeding? I'm so sorry, no proof of insurance.
Yes, sir.
All right, I'm gonna find that your NOLO is proper, I'm filling it out, I'm gonna pass you off to the bailiffs. Do you have any questions for me before we part ways?
No, sir.
All right, then I'm gonna have you step back, out those double doors, wait for the bailiffs out in the hallway. Don't leave till they come walking downstairs. Okay, actually, if you'll just have a seat right on that front corner, James is gonna come get you right off that front corner there. All right, next one is Hallberg. This seems to be working. If anybody has any complaints, let me know. Oh, there's a whole stack, there's a bunch of them. Probably got 7 or 8 more in there, or at least that's what they told me. All right, if you'll please raise your right hand for me. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony about to give this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
All right, take your hand down, state your full name for me.
Douglas Holbrook.
Okay. Are you a pilot at Delta?
Yep.
My brother's a pilot at Delta. What do you fly?
7576.
Okay. That's not him. He's out of LA. Fly something different. So. Okay. Back to what we're both here. All right, Mr. Hallberg, you are on time. We're on time for court today. Is that
Yes,
correct?
sir.
Did you hear the rights I read out to the courtroom
Yes, sir.
and see the PowerPoint that I put up on the wall?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand it?
Yes, sir.
Did you passed up to me the self-represented defendant plea rights waiver?
Yes, sir.
Is this, do you recognize this document as the written version of those rights?
I do.
Are these your initials next to each of the
Yes, sir.
lines on page 1,
Yes, sir.
page 2,
Yes, sir.
and is that your signature?
That is correct.
Did you sign and initial this document after having all the time you needed to review it,
I did.
because you understood everything that's on it?
Yes, sir.
You're 21 years of age or older?
Yes, sir.
Have you used a NOLO on anything in the last 5 years?
No, sir.
All right, and you want me to accept this NOLO for driving that occurred on May 14th of 2023 and resulted in this charge of speeding 74 and a 55?
Yes, sir.
I'm going to find that is proper and I'm going to grant it. You have the funds, therefore I do not need to place you on probation and we don't need to finish the plea. I'm signing the document now. Do you have any questions before you and I part ways?
No, sir.
All right, then I've signed it, I've initialed it. You're ready to go. If you will please step on that, or go grab a seat on that front row there. And the bailiffs will walk both of y'all down in just a
Fine.
minute.
Thank you.
Thank you. I got a bunch more. Martinez. All right. Please raise your right hand. You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, sir.
All right, take your hand down. State your full name.
Michael Herrera Martinez.
Mr. Martinez, you are here on 23 TK 5300, and according to my calendar, you were on time for court today. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Did you hear the rights read out to the courtroom and see the PowerPoint up on the wall?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand those rights?
Yes, sir.
I'm holding out this self-represented defendant plea rights waiver. Do you recognize this document as the written version of those rights?
Yes, sir.
Are these your initials next to each of the lines on page 1,
Yes, sir.
page 2,
Yes, sir.
and is that your signature?
Yes, sir.
Did you sign and initial this document after having all the time you needed to review it,
Yes, sir.
and because you understood everything that's on it?
Yes, sir.
Any questions I can answer for you about anything on here?
No, sir.
Are you 21 years of age or older?
Yes, sir.
And are you asking me to accept, have you used a NOLO on anything in the last 5 years?
No, sir.
Let's see. You're entering a NOLO on count 1. Okay, and then count 2 is going to be null prosecution. There it is. Okay. So, are you wanting me to accept the NOLO for driving that occurred here in Spalding County on November 1st, 2023 and resulted in this charge of following too closely?
Yes, sir.
I'm going to find that your request for NOLO is proper and I'm going to grant it. You have the funds to pay it, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Therefore, I do not need to place you on probation. 306. I'm going to have, do you need anything from me before we part ways?
No, sir.
All right, if you'll have a seat on the front bench there, the bailiffs will walk you down.
Have a good day.
What about you?
His name is Martinez.
Herrera Martinez.
All three of y'all,
I'm sorry.
wait in the hallway, he's gonna take y'all downstairs.
Thanks, Judge.
Okay, can I please see the following people through those double doors? James Salter, Joshua Witchett, Siwan Pikes, and Patrick Ojemi. And that should be it.
Okay, can you ask Mr. Herrera to step back up? I want to ask him a quick question up here at the bench. All right, Elon? Come on up. Elon? Oh, sorry. All right, and I wrote on Deja name.
Yes, you said correct.
Names are important, and I am so bad at messing up names. Y'all, I feel terrible, like, I literally mess them all up, and then Kathy has to take it down and put it to a transcript that I messed it up, so. All right, if you'll please raise your right hand for me. You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but truth, so help you God.
Yes.
All right, take it, now state your full name for me.
Aneshina Jasenia Elon.
All right, now, it appears to me that you're gonna go into our 30 by 30 program, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so, let's walk through. You are here on time for court, correct?
Yes.
Did you hear the rights I read out to the courtroom, and did you see the PowerPoint that I put up on the wall?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand those rights?
Yes, sir.
Any questions I can answer for you about those rights?
No.
This is the self-represented defendant plea rights waiver. Did you pass this up?
Yeah.
Do you recognize this document as the written version of those rights I read out earlier?
Yes, sir.
Are these your initials next to each of the lines on page 1,
Yes, sir.
page 2,
Yes, sir.
and is this your signature?
Yes.
Did you sign and initial this document after having all the time that you needed to review it
Yes.
and because you understood everything that's on it?
Yes, sir.
Did you see on here, as well as hear me say, that you have the right to have an attorney represent you?
Yes.
And you're here representing yourself?
Yes.
Is that what you would like to do?
Yes.
Do you understand that you have the right to a jury trial, including these rights in the jury trial that I'm pointing at?
Yes.
And by entering this plea, there will be no trial. This case will be closed. Is that what you want to do?
Yes.
All right. You are charged with 1 count of speeding, 69, and a 55, and that you did so here in Spalding County on December 4th of 2023. Did you do that?
Yes.
All right, I'm going to find with your admission of guilt as to the reduced charge of 69 and a 55 that there is enough for me to take your plea. I'm going to find that you're knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently waiving your rights and entering this plea. I've reviewed the recommendation, and I will follow it as you have negotiated. Do you have any questions for me about anything before I sentence?
You know.
You ready?
Yes.
All right, here we go. On 23 TK 5726, from December 4th of 23, count 1 speeding, 69 and 55, I'm going to find you guilty. It's 12 months probation, 232 is your fine. You may work, I'm going to delay the start of your probation by 30 days. If you pay your fine in full plus $30 and participate in our 30 by 30 program, then your case will close with no probation conditions. If, however, you are unsuccessful in closing your case, then 31 days from now, probation will begin. At that point, if you choose to, you may work off your fine with community service work. You'll be required to show a valid license to probation, have no alcohol, illegal drugs, or hemp products. You'll be tested for those. Fourth Amendment waiver, $50 per month supervision fee, $25 intake fee, and your case will still close the moment you've satisfied your obligations. There would just be those additional obligations. You have 30 days from today if you wish to appeal this decision. You have 6 months from today if you wish to use your habeas rights. Are there any questions about anything that I can answer before we part ways?
No.
All right. If you'll walk with Mr. Williams out the double doors and go be with Sentencing Enforcement. Thank you. Dow? Mr. Dowd, I think you're going to go do our 30 for 30 program, is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Raise your right hand for me. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
All right, take your hand down, state your full name for me.
Dakota Dowd.
Mr. Dowd, you are here today on 23 TK 5326. According to my calendar, you were on time for court today, is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
There you are. Did you hear the rights I read out to the courtroom, and did you see the PowerPoint that I put up on the wall?
I did.
Did you understand those rights?
I did.
You have passed up to me this self-represented defendant plea rights waiver. Do you recognize this document as the written version of those rights I read out earlier?
I do.
Are these your initials next to each of the lines on page 1?
It is.
Page 2?
Yes.
And is this your signature?
Yes.
Did you sign and initial this document after having all the time that you needed to review it
I did.
and because you understood everything that's on it?
Yes.
You have the right to have an attorney represent you, and you're here representing yourself. Is that what you want to do?
It is.
You have the right to have a jury trial, and by entering this plea, there will be no trial, including these rights I'm pointing to in the middle of page 1, inside that jury trial. Do you want to give up your right to a jury trial?
I do.
You're charged with speeding 155, and that you did so here in Spalding County on November 5th of 2023. Did you do that?
I did, and also during the conference, I didn't mention a no vote. I was going to plead a no vote.
That is not something I normally grant at
Okay.
that
Yes, sir.
speed. It's a good, it's exactly the right question to ask. And this is exactly the right moment, but at 45 over, I would very likely overrule the solicitor's office and not grant it, even if they recommended it. So, you have two options at this point. We can go forward. I'm not telling you I will overrule it. I'm just telling you my inclination. You can go back and have a second conference and ask for it. If they're willing to recommend it, I'll certainly consider it. Or we can go forward with it as it is. I have no preference. What do you want to do?
We can move forward, and I can just go on my probation.
Okay, that sounds fine then. All right, then you've already admitted to it. I'm gonna find that you're knowingly, freely, and voluntarily waiving your rights and entering this plea. That there's enough for me to accept it with your admission of guilt. Okay, I'm ready. Any questions for our sentence?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Dowd, 23 TK 5326, count 1 speeding, 155. We find you guilty. It's 12 months probation, 1440 is your fine. I'm going to delay the start of your probation by 30 days, allow you to participate in a 30 by 30 program. If you close your case, plus $30. If you pay your fine in full plus $30, your case will close in the next 30 days. After that, your probation will begin automatically if it's still open, at which point you may then work off your fine with community service work if you wish. Have no alcohol, show your valid license to probation. No alcohol, illegal drugs, or hemp products should be tested for those. Fourth Amendment waiver, $50 per month supervision fee, $25 intake fee, and your case will still close the moment you satisfy your obligations to the court. You have 30 days from today if you wish to appeal this decision, and you have 6 months from today if you wish to use your habeas rights. Is there any questions I can answer for you about anything before you and I part ways?
No, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Dowd, if you walk out that way, Ms. Richardson, he's on, hand you off to sentence enforcement. Gentry? All right, if you will please raise your right hand. You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, sir.
All right, take your hand down. Go. Hey, Clint. Say your full name for me.
Donnie Dwayne Gentry.
I'll look at the back of it. All right, Mr. Clint's gonna have you fix something real quick.
I understand. Initial each one of those individually.
All right, Ms. Gentry, you're here on 23 TK 5152, and according to my calendar, you were on time for court today, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Did you hear the rights I read out to the courtroom, and did you see the PowerPoint that I put up on the wall?
I did.
Did you understand those rights?
Yes, sir.
You have passed up to me the self-represented defendant plea rights waiver. Do you recognize this document as the written version of those rights I read out earlier?
I do.
Are these your initials next to each of the lines on page 1?
They are.
Page 2?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature?
It is.
Are you currently a United States citizen?
I am.
Okay, that's okay. It happens from time to time. I just mark it off and we keep going. All right, so Mr. Gentry, do you understand that you have the right to have an attorney represent you?
I do.
And you're here representing yourself?
Yes, sir.
Is that what you want to do?
Absolutely.
You understand that you have the right to a jury trial?
Yes, sir.
And that by entering this plea, there will be no trial and this case will be closed. Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
All right. Mr. Gentry, you are charged with 1 count of speeding, 93 and a 55.
Yes, sir.
And that you did so here in Spalding County on October 29th of 2023. Did you do that?
Yes, sir.
And we'll find With your admission of guilt, there's enough for me to take your plea. I'm going to find that you are knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently waiving your rights and entering this plea. I've reviewed the recommendation and I will follow it. Any questions about anything before I sentence?
No, sir, thank you.
Okay. Ms. Gentry, on 23 TK 5152, count 1, speeding, 93 and at 55, I'm gonna find you guilty. It's 12 months probation. $1,440 is your fine. I'm gonna delay the start of your probation by 30 days. If you wish to pay your fine off plus $30, then your case will close with no probation conditions. At 31 days, your probation will start automatically, at which point you may then work off your fine with community service work if you wish. You will be required to show a valid license to probation, to sentence enforcement. Have no alcohol, illegal drugs, or hemp products. Be tested for those. Fourth Amendment waiver, $50 per month supervision fee, $25 intake fee, and your case will still close the moment you've satisfied your obligations to the court. You have 30 days from today if you wish to appeal this decision, and you have 6 months from today if you want to use those habeas rights. Are there any questions I can answer for you about anything before you and I part ways?
No, sir, thank you.
Thank you. If you will step out those double doors with Mr. Phillips, he's going to walk you out there to meet with sentence enforcement. All right, I got to stand up. David Hand. Yeah, the heat's off. All right, I'm going to stand up. So please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
All right, state your full name for me.
David Hand.
All right, Mr. Hand, you are here today on 23 TK 5630, and according to my calendar, you are on time for court today. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Did you hear the rights are read out to the courtroom, and did you see the PowerPoint that I put up on the wall?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand those rights?
Yes, sir.
Any questions I can answer for you, Mr. Hand, about those rights?
Yes, sir.
How old are you?
I'm 18.
Mr. Hand, you have passed up to me this self-represented defendant plea rights waiver. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
Do you recognize it as the written version of those rights I read out earlier?
Yes, sir.
Are those your initials next to each of the lines on page 1?
Yes, sir.
Page 2?
Yes, sir.
And is that your signature?
Yes, sir.
Did you sign and initial this document after having all the time you needed to review it
Yes, sir.
and because you understood everything that's on it?
Yes, sir.
Do you have any parents or guardians here today?
No.
All right, I was going to ask that question. Okay, do you understand you have the right to have an attorney represent you?
Yes, sir.
And if you were here today, if you asked me for an attorney, you're here today without an attorney, is that what you want to do, is go forward without an attorney?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand that you have the right to a jury trial?
Yes, sir.
And that by entering this plea, there will be no trial and this case will be closed? Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
All right, you are charged with now a reduced charge of speeding 78 in a 55. This puts you on the knife edge of losing your license at being under 21, but does not in and of itself cause a suspension of your license. Do you understand that you're going to be on the knife edge of losing your license after this?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand that, so did you, here in Spalding County, on November 23rd of 2023, operate your motor vehicle at a speed of 78 and a 55?
Yes, sir.
All right, I'm going to find with your admission of guilt as to the reduced charge of 78 and 55, that there's enough for me to take this plea. I'm going to find that you're knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently waiving your rights and entering this plea. I've reviewed the recommendation and I'll follow it. Any questions about anything before I sentence?
No, sir.
You ready? All right. David Hand, 23 TK 5630 from November 23rd of 2023. Count 1, speeding, 78 to 55, guilty. 12 months probation, $750 is your fine. You may work off your fine with community service work if you wish. Show valid license to probation. No alcohol, illegal drugs, or hemp products should be tested for those. Fourth Amendment waiver, $50 per month supervision fee, $25 intake fee. Your case will close the moment you've satisfied your obligations to the court. Those obligations include 20 hours of community service work and completing a defensive driving school. All right. You have 30 days from today if you wish to appeal this decision. You have 6 months from today if you wish to use your habeas rights. Do you have any questions for me about anything before you and I part ways?
So if I complete all that, do I get off probation?
Once you've completed your obligations, yes. So sentence enforcement will give you a complete list of what you need to do based off of the sentence I've just given you. But yes, you're only on probation until it takes you to get your stuff finished.
Thank you.
All right, go step up. James, Sadie James.
Just have to see it up.
All right, if you'll please raise your right hand for me. You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, sir.
All right, take your hand out and state your full name for me.
Shawty LaQuasia James.
All right, Charlotte, names are important, and we'll get it right moving forward, okay? All right, you are here today on 23 TK 5166. And according to my calendar, you are on time for court today, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Did you hear the rights I read out to the courtroom, and did you see the PowerPoint that I put up on the wall?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand those rights?
Yes, sir.
You passed up to me this self-represented defendant plea rights waiver. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
Are these your, do you recognize it as the written version of those rights I read out earlier?
Yes, sir.
Are these your initials next to each of the lines on page 1,
Yes, sir.
page 2?
Yes, sir.
And is this your signature?
Yes, sir.
Did you sign and initial this document after having all the time that you needed to review it
Yes, sir.
and that you understood everything that's on it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you understand that you have the right to have an attorney represent you?
Yes, sir.
You're here representing yourself?
Yes, sir.
Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
Understand that you have the right to a jury trial,
Yes, sir.
and that by entering this plea, there will be no trial, and this case will be closed. Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
You are charged with speeding 69 and 55. Did you do that here in Spalding County on October 26th of 2023?
Yes, sir.
And I'm going to find with your admission of guilt, there's enough for me to take your plea. I'm going to find that you're knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently waiving your rights in entering this plea. I've reviewed the recommendation, and I'll follow it. Any questions before I sentence?
No, sir.
You ready?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, Shawty James on 23 TK 5166 from October 26th of 23, count 1, speeding 69 and 55. I'm going to find you guilty. It's 12 months of probation, 158 is your fine. I'm going to delay the start of your probation by 30 days and allow you to participate in our 30 by 30 program. If you pay your fine in full plus $30 in the next 30 days, your case will close with no probation. After that, your probation will begin. You may then work off your fine with community service work. If you wish, you'll need to show a valid license to probation, no alcohol, illegal drugs, or hemp products, and you'll be tested for those. $50 per month supervision fee, $25 intake fee, and your case will still close the moment you've satisfied your obligations to the court. Okay, any questions about anything before you and I part ways?
No, sir.
All right, if you will step out those double doors with Mr. Phillips, he's going to hand you off to sentence enforcement, and we'll go from there. Hi.
Absolutely.
Yes. It's good, yeah. So, I've asked Piper to crack a window, because the worst thing you
Yeah,
can do is,
I thought it was just me.
worst thing you can do is make folks sit in the
Look
hot.
here.
So listen, I'm gonna have
Get
Piper
the
crack.
jacket off. I knew it was hot in here.
Yeah, I'm gonna have Piper crack that window just to put, the heat's out of control and I have no control over it. If you don't like the cold air, feel free to move away and I'll get y'all out of here as quick
That's
as
how
I
we feel
can.
how hot it is. Miss Captain, put the jacket on.
Hot courtrooms are
I'm
the
scared
stuff,
to even move. 'Cause
hot courtrooms are the stuff my
I
nightmares
mean,
are
like,
made of.
it's crazy hot in here today.
Okay.
Okay, and y'all, we're working hard to get you out of here as quick as we can. James, how's the line looking?
Kieran Johnson.
All right, Ms. Johnson, you're here on 23 TK 5756, and according to my calendar, you were on time for court today, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Did you hear the rights I read out to the courtroom, and did you see the PowerPoint that I put up on the wall?
Yes, sir.
Did you understand those rights?
Yes, sir.
You have passed up to me this self-represented defendant plea rights waiver. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
You recognize it as the written version of those rights I read out earlier.
Yes, sir.
Are these your initials next to each of the lines on page 1?
Yes, sir.
Page 2?
Yes, sir.
Is this your signature?
Yes, sir.
Did you sign and initial this document after having all the time that you needed to review it,
Yes, sir, I did.
and because you understood everything that's on it?
Yes, sir.
Did you see on here where it says you have the right to have an attorney represent you,
Yes, I did.
and you're here representing yourself?
Yes, sir.
Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
You understand that you have the right to a jury trial,
Yes, sir.
and that by entering this plea, there will be no trial, this case will be closed. Is that what you want to do?
Yes, I do.
All right. Are you 21 years of age or older?
Yes, I am.
Have you used a NOLO in the last 5 years on any charge?
No, sir.
And are you asking me to accept a NOLO for driving that occurred here in Spalding County and results in this charge of speeding 80 and a 55?
Yes, sir.
I'm going to find with your admission of guilt, that your request for a NOLO is proper, and I'm going to grant the NOLO. I'm going to find that you're knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently waiving your rights to entering this plea. I'll review the recommendation and I'll follow it. Any questions before I sentence?
No, sir.
All right. All right, here we go. On 23 TK 5756, speeding 80 and a 55, I'm going to grant your NOLO. It's 12 months probation. $750 is your fine. I'm going to delay the start of your probation by 30 days. If you pay your fine in full plus $30 in our 30 by 30 program, then your case will close with no probation conditions. 31 days from now, if your case is open, probation will begin automatically, at which point you may, if you choose, work off your fine with community service work. You'll show your valid license for probation, have no alcohol, illegal drugs, or hemp products, and be tested for those. Fourth Amendment waiver, $50 per month supervision fee, $25 intake fee, and your case will still close the moment you satisfy those obligations to the court. You have 30 days from today if you wish to appeal this decision, and you have 6 months from today if you wish to use your habeas rights.
Yes, sir.
Any questions for me about anything before you and I part ways?
The only question I have is, with probation, will be paying the fee, the fine, because I'm a traveling electrician. Can I pay it online or I have to pay it in person?
I bet you can pay it online. I don't see any reason why you can't. We've worked very hard to create an online payment platform. So I'm just going to say I'm 85% confident the answer is yes.
Yes.
I just don't see that being an issue. So talk to them and they'll tell you for sure how that works.
Yes, sir.
I think it's going to be okay. Our goal is to not get in the way of anything.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay.
May I approach you?
Yeah.
Widget? You can go downstairs, please. You with him?
I can feel it. Your jacket back on.
Yeah, I can actually feel it hit me now. I feel so good.
Mr. Shepherd.